Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie or Cakes, and today I'm taking a little note out of Swell Entertainment's book, and I'm going to be doing a review of ATL Comic-Con 2024. Now, there were a lot of things that I did end up liking about this con, but then there were just some very glaring things that I thought could have been better implemented or just different. I did actually get some B-roll, which is new for me, so I'm sorry if it's bad. I'm sorry if you don't like it. I really tried my best. On the first day, I did no recording because I just wanted to enjoy it with my partner. The second day is where the brunt of my recording comes in. There were definitely more people on the second day. You could tell that just the crowds were a lot bigger. There were a lot more people involved, a lot of people in the vendor room or just kind of like hanging around. And then on the third day, there was still a good chunk of people. I did not get to record because my camera was dead. But I got some little clips on my phone that I will also be adding into the video. So let's just jump right in. Now, the convention location for Atlanta Comic-Con 2024 was at the in Atlanta, which is actually a really nice location. The space has plenty of space for people and for, you know, events for vendors and the like. Right next to it is a really nice Chick-fil-A. A slight walk away is the Georgia Aquarium. There's a park there. There's a Starbucks right across the street. And then also the Hall of Fame, like the Sports Hall of Fame, is also literally right next to the hotel. So there's plenty of other things you could do if you want to go to the con, get some stuff, go back to your hotel room, and you don't want to go back. You just want to hang out and do some other things. You have the opportunity to. There's plenty of things kind of around in the area that I would also deem safe. Atlanta is a little sus, not gonna lie, but it was in a really good spot, I would say. Now, despite it being a nice space, you will see in some of my recordings that I record there being just empty space in the room with like the vendors, the dealer's room with like Artist Alley. There were just empty spaces that they didn't utilize for anything, and I felt like that was kind of a missed opportunity because to me, this convention just felt like it was more so for all of the famous people that they brought in, because there were a lot of famous people at this con, like that you could go get a signature. There were photo opportunities that you could have, and I thought that was really cool. They were just really expensive, so we didn't do any of that. We also didn't really prepare for this con. We didn't really know like what was going on because we bought tickets like a week before the con was going to start, because we also didn't know that it was going to be this early. Last time I went to ATL Comic-Con was in 2019, and it was in like June. We didn't know that there was another one last year, so I just feel like, where's the promo? Like, where's the promo at? Because we're always peeping going to conventions, AWA, Momo, Dragon Con, and I was like, oh, ATL Comic-Con is going on. Like they brought it back. Great, cool. That being said, yes, there were some empty spaces that just it felt like there could have been way more. They did make use of a lot of the different rooms for various things. Like there was a maid cafe. I feel like for what they were offering, it was a little too expensive, so we didn't do that. Sorry, no footage. There was a room with like VR games. There was another room for like tabletop things. There was also kind of like a gaming bar that had like speed friendship. Like instead of speed dating, it was like speed friending, and we didn't do it, but I did think that was actually kind of cool, like a cool thing to add. There was also like a NASA event going on, so they also had a room dedicated to NASA, and you'd get like a little goodie bag at the end. We didn't really do any of the panels. Quite a few of them was actually just watching anime, like full-on episodes of anime, and I was like, okay, I guess if that's your vibe, cool. But we didn't really do any of that. We really just wanted to go see what the vendor's room is like, what is going on. I'm sorry, I have to say, it was my least favorite setup, like, ever. So if I can find a map of the floor plan, I should have had these things ready, but I didn't. I will post it here, but basically once you go down the elevator into the dealer's room, they had it set up to where there's a big portion cut off for the, you know, fan signings with all of the famous actors, actresses, voice actors, things of that nature. They also had another section connected to that was specifically for the photo ops. There was another little section where you could take photos with like famous movie cars, which I did think was kind of cool. I think I did get like a quick little snapshot. Don't sue me, please. But then when you get to like the actual vendors section, it was weird because say it's in a square. You're moving in a square. Well, smacked in the center of the square is the artist alley. And I've never been to a con where they would just shove all of the artists into the middle of the vendors. So it's like you're going through vendors, then all of a sudden you're going through artists, and then all of a sudden you're going through the other side of the vendors again. And I just felt like that was not smart. Maybe it was because they just didn't give vendors enough time to sign up, or maybe it was really expensive. But the vendor space was like, the artist alley section was very small and kind of just felt like it was shoved into the middle of the vendors as an afterthought, so they didn't have to really put that much effort into making things kind of like uniform, because I prefer all of the vendors to be on one side, and the natural progression is you move through the vendors and then it automatically jumps into the artist alley. Instead of it kind of being jarring, I'm going through vendors and then all of a sudden I'm in the artist alley, and we definitely missed probably a couple things, even though we tried to go through everything. It was kind of confusing, kind of jarring. I loved the amount of comic book vendors that there were, but I also wish that there was more, because it's called Comic-Con, and I wish more of them were able to come out. There was so much love for Star Wars, and I loved that as a Star Wars fan. This was also one of the first cons that I went to where I saw less ass than I was anticipating, because it's been a huge thing now in the anime con space, where everyone is turning all of these characters into custom made outfits, but it's really just like, I could see your cheeks, you know, like, it's just, I can't really tell who the character is anymore, but I could see cheeks. Anyways, there weren't really that many cheeks involved, and I kind of appreciated that. Like, obviously there's nothing wrong with, like, you know, a hot, sexy cosplay or whatever, but I just feel like there's a time and a place, and not every place needs that. Not every place needs that. So we only saw a couple cheeks, and I was okay with that. I didn't really take photos of cosplayers because I'm always kind of weird about that, and I always get nervous, like, going up to someone to ask, and even asking some of these vendors, oh, hey, would you mind if I recorded your table a little bit? My heart was pumping. But I did get some tables just to kind of show off what they were selling, and I thought that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, in general, I'm still just kind of upset about the space and how they delegated the just literally just the spacing. That was about it. Parking was fine because we were able to purchase parking tickets when we bought our con tickets, like, on the website. I really appreciated that, because parking in Atlanta, if you don't know, it's rough. There are lots all over where you have to pay $10, $20, $40, $60, and it's even worse on the weekend. And this was also Super Bowl weekend, so they were insane to make this Super Bowl weekend. And I didn't even realize that because I don't really watch football. Not the point. But we were able to go into the green lot, which was literally right next to the hotel in the Hall of Fame. So that was really good. I did like that aspect about it. I find it very interesting that now cons are now kind of just offering 4-day tickets instead of you being able to pick a single day or a duo day. It's now just one and done. Either you're buying the entire pass for the entire weekend or you're not going. I did find it interesting that this time they had it to where you could buy the basic all weekend pass, or there was a Ruby all weekend pass where I think you also get a discount on the ATL Comic-Con merch. And then they had another one, I think a tier above that, and that's fine. The one thing that I did not like about that, though, is if you bought the basic one, you only got this shitty little wristband that it's not special at all. If I'll find it over there and I'll show you, but I didn't like that. When I went in 2019, the wristband that they gave us was so cute, and I still have it around here somewhere. But yeah, only if you bought like the bigger or like the more expensive all-day pass would you be given You know, when you typically go to a con and you buy your ticket, it comes with your like key card for you to get in and to get out of the con. Well, now only if you bought like the more expensive pack could you get that. And I don't know, that really did not rub me the right way at all. I did not like that. Other than that, the amount of famous people, if I can find the list, I will also share that here. There were a lot of people, like a lot of people. Yeah, there was a lot. But also there was Alec Baldwin, and he had a really long line, and that confused me, but also bothered me in various ways. Anyway, here's like a little compilation I made of me going around, and so you can kind of see the entrance. You'll see me going down the elevator, entering into the con. There was also this really awesome big window that showed kind of an overhead view of the con that I managed to get, and I thought that that was really nice. Other than that, if I had to give this like a rank out of 5, I would definitely give it like a 3.5 because the amount of people, there was a good amount of people. They definitely could have had more vendors available, I feel like, especially to fill up the amount of empty space that there was. The events, since I didn't really go to them, I can't say whether they were good or not. I might go to panels during the next con that I go to. And just the price was okay, I suppose, but I don't know. I feel like for what we paid, it could have been better. So I would definitely give it like a 3.5 out of 5. And maybe they might improve next year if we go. Now I will show you some of the goodies that I got, and then the rest of the compilation. Sorry, my camera ran out of memory, but now I'm just going to show you a couple of the goodies that I got. So a really popular thing that we saw was the Pokemon Mimikyu, but dressed as the Evolutions. And so this was the only Mimikyu Umbreon that we saw. And as soon as I saw it, I said, listen, it's Black History Month. I want this one. And my partner was like, you're right. You're right. So we got this one. All of them did come with a tail. It's really cute. A really awesome shop called Meg's Mashables let me record kind of like inside her booth. But we had gotten, this is called a cork. It is the mix between a corgi and a shark. And it comes with a really cute adoption card, which I thought was super adorable. Another really cute booth. I think I got their card. It might have been Crafty Nymphs. But I got this really cute Kanroji pin. I really like her. She's really cute. They had this awesome reptile section where people like brought in their snakes. And I think there was like some geckos and some lizards. And they had these really cute stickers. So I got the sticker sheet. And then another one of Meg's Mashables that I got was this shark. That's a succulent plant. I thought that was absolutely adorable. There was this another really cute booth selling a bunch of Kirby pins, and I'm just going to insert the photos of the ones that I got. The ghost Kirby pin was actually from a blind box, and I was really hoping for that one, so I'm glad that I got it. The Frankenstein one my partner picked out, and then the pink one, Kirby with the frog hat, is also just so cute. There were so many people selling Funko Pops, and now obviously because, you know, they're for characters in pop culture, they're everywhere. You cannot escape them if you go to a convention at all. There will be Funko Pops. That being said, I will insert a photo of a couple of the ones that we got because they're already placed. And then I found fully hollified Ichigo, which is kind of a new one. He's from... oh, it doesn't tell me when, but I'm pretty sure this is either 2020, I think 2023 or 2024, and people are selling him for a lot of money. And the vendor that we found, I wish he had a card, but he didn't. He was literally just selling them for $12. And it came with the case. Like, we didn't have to pay any extra. He was super kind, and I wish that I had gotten like a card or a photo of their booth, but I didn't. And he was one of the smaller ones. The final thing I'm going to show you is there was this really cute vendor who was dressed up in like a maid costume. I also didn't get, like, I don't think I got a recording of the booth, but they were selling custom glass bottles that come with a straw. This is the last one. Don't judge me. I've loved this man since I was a child. And it makes me just slightly uncomfortable because he ends up marrying... Anyways, I got Sesshomaru. It's a frosted glass bottle that also comes with a straw. And for those who know me, they know that my favorite evolution is Vaporeon. And so when I saw that this vendor that we happened to find on the third day was selling evolutions with planets, but then on the other side, it's the shiny version. And the funny thing is, I already have one just like this where it's Vaporeon and then on one side it's shiny Vaporeon. But I needed this one too. And it's going to go on my massive frog bag that I got from a different convention. Editing Debbie here right at the end. This was one of the last things that my partner got me at ATL Comic-Con. It is a Sanrio ice cream cone. At the top we have my favorite Pom Pom Pudding, then we've got My Melody, and then ended off with Cinnamon Roll, and then we've got the cone. This bad boy was like $35 worth it. It's super soft, it's very squishy, and I have slightly been using it as another pillow, but it will find a home up in my hammock eventually. So all in all, we didn't get too many things this time around simply because we just weren't interested in the kind of slim pickings that they had. We wish there was more game vendors, especially because that's where we kind of find a lot of our specialty games. But other than that, I think the con was fun. I definitely will probably go again. Again, it's only getting a 3 out of 5 for me. Someone else may have had an even better experience. And also just think it depends on, you know, the vibe that you're feeling. And everyone was very kind. The very first person that we bought from, it was the Valentine's Day 3D printed Charizard. He gave it to us and he didn't have cash on him, and we only had like a $20 bill and it was only $10. And he was like, take it. Just take it and come back when you have $10 and just give it to us. And he just gave it to us. And obviously we found someone, we gave them a 20, they gave us a 10, and then we just went back to him and gave him the 10. Like, a lot of people would not go back, if I'm being honest, because some people are just not good. But just how awesome the vendors were. They were super kind. I did not have a bad experience like last time when that vendor was being very rude and shady to someone who was trying to buy a console from them. I did not have an experience like that. I did not feel overwhelmed. A lot of the vendors were also just comic book artists promoting their work. There were a lot of POC artists promoting their books, their manga, their comics, there was a whole publishing company, I believe, that was there also promoting like their children's books for POC children, and I thought that was magnificent. And I love that this one had, you know, because it's a Comic-Con, it did have more people coming to promote their work, like their books and, you know, their manga and their comics. And I thought that was really, really cool. But anyways, this has been my very impromptu review of Atlanta Comic-Con 2024. I'm sorry that I'm not so good at this. Have some B-roll. Bye! Drink some water, like and subscribe.